Nobody screamed, "Hey, Mark, why don't you get a real country?" Nobody screamed that. That's weird.
I know.
Inside the Oval Office, the Prime Minister expressed some high praise for the president.
Mark, would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually. But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president, focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, providing ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And
securing
I've been elected with my colleagues here. With the help of my colleagues here, I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders. Again,
transform it into
fentanyl,
a state.
Much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic.
Yep.
And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work
Please
together.
don't hit
we
me.
look forward to addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas. of mutual
Okay, we got
cooperation
it.
so we can move forward.
Very nice.
Great.
Thank you
Very
much.
nice.
Very nice. Thank you.
All righty.
All right.
It's a good start, right?
That is for Trump.
Yep. He did address the 51st state situation. Here's Carney on that.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace, that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
Well, we're not buying
but
Yeah, we never
the
said anything about
opportunity
buying it.
is in the partnership and what we can build
If we
together.
want it, we'll
have
just
done that in the
take
past.
it.
And part of that, as the president just
Buying
said,
anything.
is with respect to our own security.
And you'll thank us for it.
And
Yeah.
my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of
That's
it.
true. And they I would say Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
Thank you. Thank you. Plus, I would love for him to say, well, I never said we were buying it.
Yeah,
So-
right. I didn't say anything about payment.
That's right.
That just makes you get your back up and say, okay, yeah, we never offered to buy
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
We'll
Thank
just
you.
take it. Stop us if you can.
That's correct.
We're going to take it. Now, I don't want it, and I don't think we should do that, but that's what the
There's some things that just aren't for sale.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. It's an interesting relationship.
That is.
It's going to be wild to watch this back and
Sure
forth.
Because it
is.
seemed like that relationship was a lot harsher when Mark was on the other side of the border.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, he changes his
He
tune
sure did.
when he's right in front of the guy. President Trump discussed the relationship between the U.S. and Canada.
We are the largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client of the United States. We have a tremendous auto sector between the two of us, and the changes that made have been helpful. 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere else in the world. And to your question about is there one thing? No, this is a bigger discussion. There are much bigger forces involved, and this will take some time and some discussions, and that's why we're here, to have those discussions, and that is represented by who's sitting around the table.
See, the conflict is, and this is very friendly. We're not. This is not going to be like we had another little blow up with somebody else. That was a much different. This is a very friendly conversation, but. We want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada. And we put tariffs on cars from Canada. And at a certain point, it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars. And we don't want steel from Canada because we're making our own steel, and we're having massive steel plants being built right now as we speak. We really don't want Canadian steel, and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things.
There's
Because
nothing
we
you
want to be
have
able
that
to
we
do it
want.
ourselves.
I barely want your syrup.
We, because of
syrup.
past thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us, and there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada. Canada's
Anyway, thanks for coming.
will have to be able to
He's
take care
so
of itself
uncomfortable.
economically. I assume they can. I will tell you that Trudeau, when I spoke to him,
Are
I
you
used
still
to call
at the
him
edge of your
Governor
seat,
Trudeau. I
Mark?
think that probably didn't help his election. But when I spoke to him, I said, so why are we taking your cars? Why are we taking we want to make them ourselves. I mean, I said, and if the price of your cars went up, or if we put a tariff on your cars of 25%, what would that mean to you? He said, that would mean the end of Canada. He actually said that to me. And I said, that's a strange answer, but I understand his answer. But no, I mean, it's hard
Awkward.
to justify
Very.
subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year. We protect
Mark's ready to
Canada
jump in.
militarily,
Just a
and we
second.
always will. We're going to, that's not a money thing. But we always will. But, it's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number.
Again.
And it's hard
Thanks
for the
for coming.
American taxpayer to
Again.
say, gee
Awkward.
whiz, we love doing that.
No, man.
Wow.
Holy cow. At least he says it right in front of them.
No doubt about it.
He says it when they're not here, and he says it when they are.
That's awesome.
There were so many times during that gathering yesterday where Mark Carney is just awkwardly, looking down, wiping his leg, just like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's in a tough situation.
No doubt he is.
Man, he's got to answer to his people. He's got to answer to Parliament. And yet he's got to present that. He's got to present the front that he's strong.
Yeah.
And he can stand up to Trump. And that's what he has to do. And that's what I'm doing. And so that's why he said immediately, Canada's not for sale. It'll never be for sale. But then he's got to listen to President Trump go through the whole litany of why we don't need Canada at all. We don't want their crap, okay? The only thing worthwhile in that whole country is poutine. We'll take that, okay? We'll keep getting the French fries with cheese curds and gravy on it, but you can keep everything else, including your stupid syrup, all right? We got Vermont here.